My name is Stanley Lumax. I am currently the Managing Director of Complex Climate. I'm also owner in Teranga, a West African restaurant. I'm also the founder of African Chop House.
Hi, my name is Asmer Lumax. I am a fashion and beauty executive. I'm also the founder of One Love Community Fridge, which is an organization that is focusing on fighting food justice. And then I'm also co-founder of the Black Beauty Club, which is working on redefining the meaning of beauty and looking at beauty from a cultural lens.
I went to Temple University in Philadelphia and graduated in '99 and got my first job out of school in Manhattan and found an apartment in Bed-Stuy. So I lived on Decatur between Ralph and Howard for about 10 years. And that was really my first experience with Brooklyn. I think I instantly fell in love with it just because, growing up a fan of hip hop, everywhere I went, there was something that reminded me of a song.
Growing up, I grew up in Sweden. Brooklyn had a huge impact for me in terms of the music I was listening and what I was reading about, and my dream was to come to New York. Funny enough, my first time ever in Brooklyn, I get off the 2 and 3 train on Eastern Parkway and I bump into Stan. That's how we met.
You didn't bump into me.
That's how we met.
I approached you.
I mean, in Brooklyn, I think it's part of everything. Even, today, I'm wearing Walker wear, technically Stan's hoodie that it's no longer his, it's mine now. But I think that represents the history and the foundation of thing that guides us in terms of it being a female-owned brand. And my lens has always been coming from creating your identity and what does it mean. How do we use clothing to communicate our values, what we believe in, who we are to the rest of the world.
I think for me, Brooklyn influences my style. One of the things I think about is spending my money within the community. I'm wearing, a hoodie from, a company called Authorized. So African Chop House is a celebration of African culture through good food, music, and people. And the inspiration behind African Chop House really just comes from my upbringing. I grew up in a Ghanaian home, and both my parents, worked really hard, but also found ways to bring people together. I think coming out of COVID, slowly bringing people together is something that I find really important. I just don't think there's a replacement for in-person connection. We had the opportunity to do a chop house in South Africa. We also did one in Ghana, which for me was literally a homecoming. Also, my mother and father were there, and my mother made the comment that
this is the first time in 42 years that the 3 of us have been together in Ghana. Since Stan was 6 months old.
You know what I mean? So those little moments definitely left a powerful message in my head in terms of the power of what we're doing.
Well, can we throw in some East African there too?
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, I'm going to throw in some East African there because Raz, as in on Franklin, is an Ethiopian restaurant that is plant-based and all organic. I think for me, my biggest mentors, to start same, my mother is one of them for sure because instilled my values. But I was lucky enough the first woman that was my boss, she kind of showed me, she welcomed me. And I think that also set me on my path in terms of what kind of teams I set up and how I mentor others in terms of kind of just paying it forward.
I think my biggest mentors, I'm going to start with my mom and dad, just in terms of teaching me work ethic. Part of why Brooklyn is so important and special to me are the mentors that I've found in the borough itself, right? So I think of Kane and Jasper as somebody that, has been a big brother to me literally since I stepped foot in Brooklyn. And again, I think a big part of it for me is community, right? There's so many individuals that aren't necessarily formal mentors, but because of our interactions, I've been able to learn so much from them.